Alright guys, we have an update on the John Wick Glock project. You can see I've already kind of built it. I got ahead of myself. I had a tough weekend, so I just, I wanted something to take my mind off. I got the parts recently that, let me start. Oops. Okay, I think we're okay. But anyways, what I want to talk about, what I want to aim this video at is try to show you guys. Thankfully, I caught myself before I completely fixed it, or not fixed it, but finished tuning it. We're at the stage where the initial stage is you put in the parts and see if it actually even functions. That's where we're at, and then we're probably like a couple hundred shots in. Okay, I want to show you how pain in the ass Glocks can be, and people always ask what's easier to build. Hands down, high kappa is 10 times easier to build than Glocks. I don't care what anyone says. If anyone says Glocks are much easier to build, nothing against them, but they haven't built a wide variety of pistols. Glocks require a lot more skills, understanding, and I'd almost say the more parts you mix, the harder it is, and sometimes it's just not even reasonable to do that route. That's most of my customers. I almost 90% of them, I'm always telling them either all guns modify, even all garter, or try to stick with, at least try to stick in with that branch. Mixing parts just turns into a shit show with the Glocks. First, let me demonstrate the problem, and then I'll go to explain you what you can do, or try to at least isolate or think about it, because people will send me paragraphs of information about their Glock on Facebook. And sometimes I don't want to read all of it, or I don't have all the time in the world to read everybody's paragraphs, and that's why I'm going to talk really about this video. And this, if anything, you guys are going to really see it here, for an example. Okay, this is the John Wick, all right, and that's my agency arms. And you always want to have, and if you don't have the slides or parts on hand to have kind of get a different, not a different opinion, but like a way to isolate your stuff versus someone else's stuff. Maybe you should, I would think if you have a lot of friends in airsoft, maybe you don't, but I'm just basing on if you have a lot of friends, see if you can borrow their upper, or at least go when you go play with them on a weekend. Bring all your tools, bring your gun, and don't ruin theirs, but try to see if you can put their upper on your lower, and and then try to cross test to isolate the issue. That's one thing I always tell people: isolate the issue, try to figure out what it is. So look at this, all right? We have this. We have 3 different types of mags. Okay, we're just gonna shoot, and I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna let you guys see where we're at right now. Right now we have Wick HPA, and the hose is on the camera. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Okay, you guys see that? It's not cycling that far, so it's not getting. Let me just shoot it now. Explain it as we go. But you guys see, this is like going this far, not a full cycle. Okay, next up, we have gas in here. Okay, we have gas in here. Okay, a little better than the Wick. Okay, so you should be able also, I hope you can tell by the sound, you should be able to hear the difference. Okay, and then we have Pro-In. Alright, I hope you guys can hear that. You should be able to see that. But you hear that snappiness. By the way, it shoots beautiful with the Pro, and I love it. Alright, but that is the problem with Glocks. Okay, I can't tell you how many questions I get daily about it. And the funny thing is, someone literally just asked on Instagram, I think it was like Wildcat or something, he literally just asked me, and the funny thing, this is why I want to cover it, and it's great that he just asked it, but the funny thing I was going to cover anyways, because from the beginning of the project, we knew, and me and the customer, he wants 4 mags. We have 4 high kappa mags. We want 4 mags to match the project. And I told him, let me build a gun first, let me see what works the best. You have to remember, this gun isn't done, this is kind of like a dry fit. I put the parts in, a couple hundred shots, see where we're at. And now you guys can see where we're at. You should never buy the guns in advance for the Glocks. They're not like the high kappa, okay? High kappa, you know, it can have this problem, kinda, but not like the Glocks. It's such a pain in the ass. Now, when you look at stores, they're going to tell you one thing: these are all TM compatible. With the, you know, it technically is true, because I have some, you know, TMs that work wonderful with this and some that don't with the other. All right, guys, come on, chill. I gotta shut it off sometimes, and I lose train of thought. But all right. Look, I want you guys to look carefully at this. This is 100% Wii. Look at the window. Look at the valve. You see, there's a C-clip on here. We got maybe a medium surface for the valve knocker to strike. Then we got a flat gasket. Not that high, right? Look at this. Next up, we have TM. This is TM valve. Definitely the widest of the three. And then I put in a 9-bolt gasket. If I were to show you the 9-bolt, I mean a stock TM. This is stock TM. I would say on average, most people think they're completely the same, but they're not. All right, they're very different. They can give me different results on certain cuts. It's just, you know, this is what you're dealing with, and you have to remember, we're just dry firing. We haven't even introduced BBs to it, and then here comes ProWin, which is completely unique. Look how tall ProWin is, and then look how aggressive the curves are. TM is curves, but the ProWin by far is the most aggressive, and then it has a smaller strike plate than TM. All right, you can see very different, and that is the stuff that stores will never tell you, okay? Or just, you know, not having experience with that kind of stuff. Is yes, they're all TM compatible, but they're very different from each other, and that's why I will always tell everybody, if you are building a custom Glock, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at it, because this gun is nothing but the best parts. These are all parts I put in my guns, and when I got customers who want nothing but the best, this is what I put in here, and I love this stuff, and you know, I have to work on it to get it to work the best I can. Okay, it's just you know, it goes to show you that I would say, like you know, what was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, yeah, Glocks are not easy to work on. All right, they require a lot of understanding, a lot of knowledge. Now, what I want to tell you is, because people will send me paragraphs, and then, you know, I always tell them isolate the issue. This is why you can see my upper here. Okay, you saw that I was able to strike the ProWin no problem, but it suffered with a Wii. This was only at 90 psi. Okay, these two are stronger in psi because it's, you know, propane, whereas this is only 90 psi, but it's a flat gasket. Now let me show you guys the upper. The areas you guys need to understand and look at. Obviously, the number one culprit usually is the hammer assembly. I would probably say majority is if you use a weak hammer spring and you're light. Let's say if you were light striking in all three. If you're light striking in all three, you guys need to work on your hammer assembly. You need to make sure there's no friction, there's none of that. Right now, the hammer pin has some friction on it. I've already polished it, but I can still feel the friction in here. I want to eliminate that friction, and that's what I have to do. Okay, I have to work on the hammer assembly until I don't feel the friction anymore, and that requires elbow grease. Okay, you got to polish this, you got to work on it. You can do it. You can just shoot it repeatedly, run it in. You know, that's something that's, you know, you can do. What else? So hammer assembly, definitely probably I always rank it kind of towards the top. But like I said, it's doing this kind of help online is just so hard. That's what I'm trying to. I'm glad that I was able to show you guys 3 different mags. One worked great, one didn't work 100%, and one just had horrible results, but it should be just fine because it's only 90 psi. Now look at this. I want you guys to look at this window. Look at this window versus this window. This is a RMR slide slash 18 style loading nozzle. Look how different these damn windows are. When I put this upper on, it performs a little bit better on the TM, and it performs a little bit better on the Wii. Okay, just switching slides. And then you think about it. This is a piston cup, whereas this is a stock TM piston cup in here with a screw. This is the lid that you pull off the screw. So you're gonna get very different results based on your builds, and you gotta just, I don't even know what to say because it's just so difficult. But that's why I always tell people, test TM versus WE. If one gives you better results, go with that mag, and focus your mag collection on that. And we can see right now, these two don't currently like the WE as much. Alright, I hope you guys would understand why, because you look at flat versus curved. Okay, the curve gets a better seal on here, but then if you want to start being picky, and I can start being picky, well, what if it's this is a Nova slide. What if the height from the blowback unit to the magazine when I put it on here is a little too tall? Maybe that's why Proin is working the best, because it's really high up and it's really aggressive. So that means, okay, does that mean I can put a shim underneath the 9-ball to raise it? This is like me just trying to explain to you guys how you want to get your thought process on here. Whereas, okay, I put the WE in here, it's flat, and we're losing gas in here, okay? These are things you always want to think about, or try to at least isolate the issue. I know, personally, from working on this gun, that there's friction here I don't like. I want to get rid of that. Okay, the valve reset is fine. When I push this here, it feels nice and smooth. The slide to the frame feels wonderful. It's very nice to rack it. There is I know there's friction between the trigger bar and the grip, so I'm going to sand the grip. Don't sand the trigger bar. This is another thing I see people doing all the time. They look at these marks and they say, "Oh, that's bad. I shouldn't see that." This is part of the function, right? Do not sand. You can sand it if it's like really aggressive. If it's creating like a 1 half a millimeter or 0.3 dent into the blowback unit. If it's doing that, fine, go ahead. But don't do it too much. It's required to push it down. The blowback unit is very important. Another thing I see people doing all the time, it drives me nuts, is they sand down the ramp. Okay, don't sand the ramp down. The ramp is responsible for. Okay, look carefully, guys. See the ramp on here? The ramp is responsible for actually locking in the hammer. Now, if I were to sand that ramp, that means it's not going to push it down all the way in place for the sear to lock it. So these are small things I see people doing all the time. There are IPSC mods. Okay, if you guys remember, I reviewed, I forget the name of it. But his comes, pre-sanded. It's not sanded, but basically the design of it is for IPSC. Okay, for IPSC guys, if you're skilled and you know what you're doing, do it. But I've seen probably like 90% of people who do the ramps are people who shouldn't be sanding the ramp, just because they think, I'm feeling the hammer, you shouldn't, sand it. You have to remember, this is a Glock. It's not a high kappa. It's not ever going to feel like a high kappa. Unfortunately, the design just sucks compared to high kappa. This is the best where we're at right now. Okay. I hoped this helps. And let's talk about another thing. Okay, you guys didn't get to see it. And I know people are going to ask. And someone asked in the high kappa video. Okay. Oh, by the way, another thing I know people are going to ask is, you guys see this right here? The outer barrel. It's common on Glocks. Okay, it's very common. That it would actually be kind of worse if I didn't have the outer barrel stabilizer. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see right here, but I have a line across here. Okay, and it's gonna come off. It's natural. If you're the type of person that doesn't like outer barrel wear, don't bother with Glocks. You'll get them. All right, trust me on that. And just be prepared for that kind of stuff. Let's get to it. The hammer assembly, when you buy aftermarket ones, does not come with hammer pins. TM Glocks are harder to build ground up than the high kappa. I could literally build you guys a ground up custom high kappa within 1 to 2 weeks, probably just from like 1 or 2 stores, maybe 3 at most. I could find the parts in stock right now of this video. I could build you a ground up high kappa that fast. It's easier for me to find the parts for high kappa than it is for Glocks. That's one thing that's always kind of sucked about Glock. That's why we needed a base. So the 2 parts that are from the hammer assembly, these pins are never included when you buy aftermarket ones. They're just not included. Whereas if you buy a advanced frame, everything is included you need in there. The only thing you have to install is just hammer, sear, valve reset, which are easy to buy. Pins, you kind of got looking for it, right? Goddard makes a set. UAC used to make a set, but UAC is gone now. I don't remember if Cal carried that over or not. But that's an example of something you need for the hammer assembly. The second area that you guys won't be able to see is because it's in here. As you see right here, there's a small hole. This small hole, there's a little pin and a spring here. You need that spring for the slide lock to work. That's how the slide lock bounces up. Once again, that's a kind of hard part to find. You know, you asked me 4 or 5 years ago, we couldn't find that. You would need a stock TM Glock. Now I think I think Goddard makes one. Goddard is your friend for weird parts. What the Goddard does is literally, I swear to God, they get the manual from the TM Glocks, and they look at everything. They buy the gun and they copy the parts, which I'm thankful for. Especially because you have to remember, guys, they were like the first ones to really make steel trigger bars. Okay, and man, the stock TM trigger bars, if you bought an advanced, slides and you started upgrading them, they sucked. The TM trigger bars were just bent all the time. You have to bend it back in place. It was an absolute pain in the ass. And Goddard came out to the steel one. I was like, okay, that'll start keying for a while. Because Modified came out, I like that. You know, adds a little flare, is steel and is tin coated, so blah blah. You guys get the point, but. Though that's the next part that's hard. The other part is hard. You won't be able to see because I installed this right here. Now, if you're the type of person that likes this, buying this is also going to be kind of hard to find. But Rainbow 8 and Boom Arms are probably the two best places for Glock parts and kind of a weird parts that they have in stock. You got to really know how to just use the search engine correct, and you'll find the parts. So this is a pain in the ass part. This won't be in here. I just put this in here for the obviously to test it, because this is going in here. I hate the safety function, so I just replace it with this one. Alright, and the last part that's kind of hard is the spring for the magazine release. Okay, let me take it out so you guys, because I'm going to take it apart anyways. Once again, it's just, that's why Glocks are just a little bit harder. Like, I would have to search for a bit. I could probably find the parts. Maybe, we'll see. And I bet you it'd be more than 2-3 stores if we couldn't find everything. The cool thing is though, I want to buy it for the channel to review it. Is Goddard has that complete frame. I'm very curious about it. And they made it look like the real steel. That one I'm very curious about. Okay, I don't want to take the spring out. It's a pain in the ass, but there's a spring that holds in the magazine release. That's another part that's kind of hard. So keep that in mind, guys. What else? I'm trying to think of anything else important for you guys. That was like the one thing I wanted to cover, is that the mags, or you need to check based on your build. You can see where I'm at right now, but I'm going to keep on working on it. I want to make sure the hammer assembly has no friction. Then I'm going to move up to the upper. The upper's been moving pretty good. I like it right where it's at right now. Okay. What else? Oh, he did ask, because I know he's going to be watching these videos, are these CO2 friendly? I will never ever myself use CO2 on Glocks. Okay. I don't care how much money you throw at him, because he's got the best of the best. CO2 and Glocks don't really go together. Okay. I don't, you can run them. And a lot of those aftermarket pistols, or what are they, like Elites or VFC, they all say they run CO2. That's fine. They can run CO2. That's fine. It's not something I would run it. High Kappa is what I would run CO2 with. It's a better system. It's better durability. It's a better design. It's just better all around. Glocks, no. It's just simple as that. I won't never suggest. I won't suggest CO2 in general, but I understand. Because if it's very cold where you are, you need a CO2, you need matte gas, you need something to combat the winter. So that's the if anything. So I know people ask all the time, can you make CO2 guns? Yes. Buy these parts, and this gun really technically is CO2 ready. It is a tank. This is a tank. You have to think about it. We have full steel hammer assembly, steel trigger bar, steel front, steel slide lock. We're everything in here is high quality parts. There's nothing that's shitty in here. So if you put money into it, you'll be fine. Just you always ask me, and I'm always going to give you my honest opinion. I'll never run CO2 in the Glock. Now, I won't even run it in high kappa, but if you're going to choose one, if you want one or two platforms, if you have to choose between the two of them, high kappa is king of everything. King of CO2, king of, I don't care what gas it is, king of HPA. It's the best pistol platform, period, hands down. There's no other platform that comes near it or touching it in terms of parts and its design. Okay? And I'm not even a fanboy of it. You have to remember, I'm a fanboy of the Desert Eagle, okay? You guys saw how many boxes of Boneyard Desert Eagles I have? That's a problem I have. Well, I haven't bought in a long time, but I was buying Boneyards left and right. I literally have like a big ass box of Desert Eagles because I love them so much. And then I pretty much, I think I own every metal kit on the market for the Desert Eagle. I've been buying them for years. Okay, so I'm not a high kappa fanboy, but I just respect what it is. Glocks are much cooler, I think, and I love the look of them, but they're not as good as the high kappa. Okay, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I think I've covered everything important. Make sure, I know Knive One's going to have a pro in, but test TM versus Wick. Those two gaskets alone and the valves will give you different results. And we're going to get to the next stage where I have to, what was it saying? I'm going to have to test with BBs. I could get different results with BBs. This could be even more of a nightmare than I expected. But you know, that's one thing you should always expect with Glocks is expect the worst with Glock. I would say high kappa, much easier. I would say maybe, you know, on the majority, most average, you know, whatever text or whatever, they can kind of do a you know, high kappa. You can get away with being, you know, not subpar at high kappa. You can't get away with being subpar at Glocks. I definitely know that just by the amount of messages I get with Glocks and people messaging me about Glock help or anything of that stuff. It's like, here's Glock help, here's high kappa helps. Okay, this pile is much bigger. Right, just by the questions I get, I can tell a lot of people have problems with Glocks, and it's very complicated. You got timing here, you got timing here, you got timing issues here. You know, you got, you know, actually no timing here issue technically there. You got timing issues with the outer barrel to inner barrel, and that's why their stabilizer helps with that. That's complicated in itself. I could literally talk hours about the Glock and everything, but it's just, I try to condense it. So hopefully this helped you guys. This is an update on the John Wick project. I'm so happy that we finally got the parts, but now I need to get to work. The second good thing is I can take a picture of the Glock because this is its final configuration. Besides, I just need to put the rear sight on it. So let's just put on the rear sight. And you guys can see, the funny thing is that's the one thing I hate. I hate putting on the it slides just like this. It's no longer the traditional, you know, old school style where you have to hold it from the blowback in it. I need to ask him too if he wants me to anodize anything. Cause you know what? Yeah, actually I need to talk to him about that. Okay, so we actually need to. Where's Allen key for this? Okay, we're in. So what I'm gonna do now for the mice case builder is, oh, I know people are going to ask why isn't this side stippled, but and this side is. Just check the video, check the pictures on John Wick gun. That's how it's done. You know, the funny thing is, I was talking to myself and thinking, you know, I would imagine someone of John Wick's level would be ambidextrous. And I was trying to think back to the movie. Is there any scene where he's ambidextrous and he's shooting with both hands, or you know, he switches or anything, like an offhand or something, a weak hand? But anyways, I think they literally have just the left side because, you know, he's right-handed. But I don't know. I would have to actually go check behind the scenes. I bought the DVDs, and I'm curious to see if they have anything on that. But the right side is untouched. That's just how it is. And oh, I didn't talk about the stippling. This was really hard to do. If he doesn't like it, I'm gonna go find that guy who's a pro at stippling. I could have sworn it's someone on my Facebook. I think he's based in Hawaii, but I remember someone sharing a picture that was like, okay, this guy knows how to stipple. But this was very difficult for me to do, sitting, standing with my injuries. And this is the first pass, so it's going to get another round of stippling to kind of clean it up and make it look better, more uniform. So that's where we're at right now. But yeah, okay. What I have to do, oh, we're at 25 minutes, so let me pause it. Alright, we're back. So what I have to do for my case builder, and that's probably going to be filmed on the computer screen. I have that program like Action or whatever, so that means I have to do it in the back room. So what you guys aren't going to see is I'm going to be taking a picture of this on like a white background and then photoshopping and cutting that out, but I'll talk about in the video. Oops, excuse me. But that's probably the only thing you won't see. So it's gonna, other than that, it's gonna be like completely on the computer screen. Like, we'll go to the website and check out how that works and everything, and you know, we're gonna be, you and me, we're gonna be on the same journey, guys, because I really don't know the website. You know, I've been playing around with it and digging around with it, but you know, we're gonna be on the same journey together to see how it works. And then I'll talk to him and see if he wants me to anodize it, because I'm anodizing Red Hawk Monday, but I don't know if he's gonna get to me by tomorrow. And the funny thing is, I'm working on fitting, so we could actually get this outer barrel anodized. I don't know about this because this is lasered, and I don't think anyone would actually laser with me with the Taran Tactical logo on it. So I don't think we can touch the slide, but we can do the outer barrel, and I think I'm going to be doing a champagne gold. Which, do I have a champagne gold in here? I think I do somewhere, but it's red, blue, gold, black. So he's got a choice between that. I could even re-anodize this guy, because this guy got dinked when it got shipped. Oh no. Damn, the logo. See, yeah, this got dinked right here. It's not a big one. The cool thing is, you know, I don't know if he's okay with that. His shoes are alright with that. What else? I'm trying to think of anything else to talk about. Can't think of anything else. So next video should be us on mycasebuilder.com. We're going to plan that out, and my friend's really busy lately, the one that was going to do the sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 3D print a John Wick sign and see if I can I'll show that before maybe I do the video, or that will be a separate video. Okay? Yeah, alright. I'm hoping this video helped you guys in some way. That's, you know, the whole purpose of these, you know, for us to have fun together, show you what you can do, and hopefully, you know, you also learn something. That's the part of the channel. Anything else? Yeah, alright. I'll see you guys around. Take it easy.